Humans are arrogant. We build metal tubes, fill them with nuclear reactors and missiles, and drive them into an environment that wants to kill us. We call it engineering. The ocean calls it an intrusion. We think that because we have thick steel hulls and fancy sonar, we are safe. But safety in the deep ocean is an illusion. It is a bubble of air surrounded by a fist that is constantly squeezing, waiting for a single weakness, a single crack to slam that fist shut. This is the story of the USS Scorpion, a machine built for war that lost a battle against physics. It is May 1968. The Atlantic Ocean is wide, gray, and indifferent. The Scorpion is a skipjack-class nuclear attack submarine. It is fast. It is shaped like a teardrop for hydrodynamics. It is a predator designed to hunt Soviet subs in the event of World War III. Inside, 99 men are living in a steel pipe. The air is recycled. The lights are artificial. They are cut off from the sun, the wind, and the seasons. They are trusting their lives to the integrity of the hull. The boat is returning from a deployment in the Mediterranean. It is tired. The crew is tired. They are looking forward to arriving in Norfolk, Virginia. They are thinking about cold beers, warm beds, and families. But the boat has a history. It has had maintenance issues. It is a high-performance machine that has been ridden hard. There are rumors of hydraulic leaks, of systems that are not quite 100%. But in the Cold War, you push the equipment. You stay on the line. Somewhere near the Azores, a cluster of islands in the middle of the Atlantic, something goes wrong. We will never know exactly what the first domino was. Maybe a torpedo started to run hot in the tube. Maybe a trash disposal unit failed. Maybe a hydraulic seal burst. But the result is a loss of control. The submarine, usually a master of buoyancy, becomes a rock. It starts to fall. A submarine has a test depth, the depth it is allowed to go to. Then it has a collapse depth. This is the red line. This is the point where the math says the hull can no longer withstand the pressure of the water. As the Scorpion angles down, sliding into the abyss, the crew fights. You can imagine the scene. It is not like the movies with dramatic music. It is chaotic. Alarms are screaming. The angle of the deck is steep, making it hard to stand. Tools are sliding across the floor. The men are wrestling with valves, trying to blow the ballast tanks, trying to force compressed air into the tanks to push the water out and make the boat light again. But gravity is winning. The boat falls past 400 feet, past 800 feet, past 1,000 feet. The pressure outside is building. At the surface, the pressure is 14.7 pounds per square inch. At 1,000 feet, it is over 440 pounds per square inch. It is like having a grand piano resting on every single inch of the hull. The steel groans. It compresses. The ribs of the submarine are being squeezed. The diameter of the boat actually shrinks by inches as it goes down. It is fighting to hold its shape. The descent continues. The silence of the ocean outside is contrasted by the frantic noise inside. The depth gauge spins. They cross the red line. They enter the zone of no return. The hull is now holding back millions of pounds of force. It is a dam holding back a river, but the dam is moving. Then it happens. The implosion. Humans have a hard time understanding implosion. We understand explosion, energy pushing out. Fire, heat, expanding gas. Implosion is the opposite. It is the vacuum collapsing. It is the ocean rushing in to fill the empty space of the submarine, and it happens faster than you can blink. At a depth of around 2,000 feet, the hull fails. It buckles. The structural integrity snaps. The water, moving at supersonic speeds, slams into the submarine from all sides simultaneously. The time it takes for the hull to collapse and the water to incinerate the air inside is roughly 37 milliseconds. That is 0.037 seconds. Here is the mercy of the physics. The human brain takes about 100 milliseconds to process pain. It takes the nerves time to send the signal from the skin to the brain. The Scorpion imploded in less than half that time. The men on board did not drown. They did not suffer. They were there 1 millisecond, and in the next millisecond, they were gone. They were simply turned off. The air inside the sub was compressed so fast it created an adiabatic heat flash, hot enough to melt metal for a split second before the water quenched it. It was a violent, instant erasure. On the surface, no one knows. The ocean is flat. The radio is silent. Families are waiting on the dock in Norfolk. The wives are holding signs. The children are waving flags. The Navy band is ready to play, but the horizon is empty. The hour of arrival passes. Then the evening passes. The anxiety starts to ripple through the crowd. A submarine is late. Submarines are never late. The search begins. It is a needle in a haystack, but the haystack is 3 miles deep and covers the entire Atlantic. The Navy uses everything: ships, planes, sonar. But the ocean is big. It hides its secrets well. They listen to the SOSUS arrays, the underwater listening posts. They go back through the tapes, and they find it. A sound. Not a mechanical ping, but a sharp, violent acoustic event. A crumpling sound. It was recorded by sensors thousands of miles apart. Triangulation points to a spot southwest of the Azores. The energy release was massive, equal to an explosion of TNT, but there was no explosive signature. It was the sound of air dying. Months later, a specialized camera sled is towed over the site. It is dragged miles deep, snapping photos of the eternal darkness. The mud is endless, beige, boring silt. Then a shape, a shadow. The wreckage of the Scorpion is found. It doesn't look like a submarine anymore. It looks like a scrapyard. The pressure did things to the metal that seem impossible. The most chilling discovery is the telescoping effect. The hull of the submarine was made of strong steel cylinders welded together. When it imploded, the force was so great that the stern section, the back of the boat, was shoved inside the bow section, like collapsing a spyglass, like crushing an empty soda can end to end. 50 feet of submarine was rammed into the compartment ahead of it in a fraction of a second. The debris field is a tragedy frozen in time. There are twisted pipes. There are pieces of the reactor compartment. There is a landing gear from a plane that was being transported, and it's all sitting in the absolute silence of 3,000 meters. The pressure down there is over 4,000 pounds per square inch. It is a place where biology struggles and where technology goes to die. The wreckage tells a story of violence, but also of the sheer weight of the water. The conning tower, the sail of the sub, was ripped off. It lies on its side, lonely in the mud. The reactor vessel, the heart of the ship, is sitting there, leaking slowly into the sediment. It is a nuclear tombstone. Why did it happen? The theories are endless. Some say a torpedo battery exploded, starting a fire that incapacitated the crew. The hot run theory. A torpedo engine starts running while still in the tube. The heat builds up. The warhead threatens to detonate. The captain orders a 180-degree turn to activate a safety mechanism, but in the confusion, the boat loses depth control. Others say it was a trash disposal unit, the TLD, a simple valve. If the valve fails while you're dumping trash, the ocean shoots in like a water jet cutter. It floods the boat. It makes it heavy. The boat sinks. It is a small mechanical failure leading to a total catastrophe. But the result is almost secondary to the cause. The result is a reminder of where we stand in the food chain. We are terrestrial animals. We belong on the dirt. When we enter the ocean, we are guests, and we are fragile guests. We fight the ocean with math and steel, but the ocean has time and gravity. The ocean never gets tired. The steel eventually gets tired. The Scorpion is not alone down there. The Thresher, another US sub, is there too. Several Soviet subs are rotting in the deep. They are monuments to the Cold War, yes, but more importantly, they are monuments to the pressure. The implosion of a submarine is the ultimate reality check. It strips away the politics, the flags, and the medals. It leaves only the physics. Boyle's law, Charles' law, hydrostatic equilibrium. These are the laws that actually rule the world. The narrative